In this tutorial, I will show you how to place all of the tickers available in the stock market using the AlphaVantage API. We go to the website, we can see listing and the listing status, which is the section of the API that contains all of the tickers. We can see a Python example here that we can copy and paste it in the Python code. We execute, we have all the results in my list, we copy paste. The first element of the list is a list with the names of the columns. The rest of the columns, from the second to the last, are the values for each company in the stock market. We can use pandas library to create a data frame with the values that we have on my list and the columns my list 0. We save it into a variable, df listings, and there we have the table saved into an object that contains more than 11,000 companies in the America stock market, the US. Now we go to the second step, where we need to create a dictionary with all the tickers. The first thing is creating a list of ticker and company name. So we click on df listings. We see the values of the name we want to compose are in the exchange column, the name and the symbol. We can access each column separately. So symbol, df listing exchange, and df listing name. Now the question is, how can we join all of the values together? We can use the sum, first the value of the exchange, then the symbol. Nevertheless, we want a separation with the colon, so we place it, we execute, and there we see the colon. Also, to make the code cleaner, we could use the function apply. To this function, we pass lambda, which references a function in the same line of code. We put a parameter x, which will reference each column of the data frame, so we can use x.exchange plus the semicolon plus the symbol. If we execute, we get an error because they are making the operations by each row instead of each column. So axis 1, we execute, and there we see the same result we previously saw. Now instead of using the plus, we are going to make the code cleaner, and we will use the f string. Every time we reference code inside the quotes, we need to use the curly brackets so that Python can interpret the variable. Now we close it, we execute again, and there we see the result where we can finally remove the pluses and just leave the colon. Then we add the name of the company, which is X, name, we execute, and there we see the name of the company next to the ticker, the symbol. We can surround the symbol with the brackets. Finally convert this object to a list and save it into a variable, list names. Now we create the list of the symbols. Now we create the list of the symbols to list symbols. And now both of these lists need to be together in a dictionary with this format. First the ticker and then the name that we composed. We have list names and also list symbols. To join both of them together in this format, we put them together, list names. To combine them element by element, we use the function zip, which to be converted in a dictionary, we use dict, and there we have the solution. We save the object into a variable, and now we should save it into a file because we would like to take the dictionary inside this application. So how can we import it? Using the JSON library with open, we can use the dump function to put the dictionary in this JSON file that we are creating. Nevertheless, we will put it inside data, so inside the path data, we execute, and there we see the dictionary. If we would like to import the dictionary with the Python code, we can use, instead of writing the file, reading the file, and the variable will be placed at the beginning to define it, and instead of dumping the file, we will use load. We execute, we print the variable, and there we see the dictionary. The same code that we have used to load the file, we use it on the Streamlit application, and instead of using the predefined list of stocks, we will use the variable ticker. We save the project, we go to the browser and see the drop-down with all of the stock options in the US market. We could search for Apple, Microsoft, Tesla, and any other we'd like. We click on submit, and there we have the cumulative return for each company. Now there is a small problem, because let's say that we are looking for JP Morgan. If I use JP Morgan, I don't know which is the ticker, the symbol of the stock. It'd be great that I can search for JP Morgan and I will see the symbol for the company. To develop this functionality, we need to develop the code in the Jupyter notebook. We go to the section where we import the JSON file. Now we execute. We ask for the ticker. To make the company name text appear in the drop-down instead of the symbols, we need to create a function, for example, getName, that given the symbol, for example, A, we will get the name of the company. For example, if the symbol is A, we can access the dictionary of the ticker with the symbol, and we get the name of the company. We take this line of code inside the function with the return, and we define it. Now, given the symbol, for example, Apple, we get the name of the company. We take the function and put it in the application and use it in the parameter of multi-select that is called format function get name. We save it, go back to the browser, click on the drop down, and there we see the names of the company. If we look for JP Morgan, there we will see the ticker. Wells Fargo, we can click on submit, and there we will see the performance of both companies without needing the exact name of the ticker or the symbol of the company.